Guys, and welcome back to Lee's Automotive. Today we are going to be replacing the front shocks on a 99 Ford Explorer. This is the two-wheel drive model with the 4-liter single overhead cam. Basically what you want to do is you want to get a jack and some jack stands. Clearly this is not the proper way. I have the factory jack here, and I have a secondary 6-ton jack holding up the middle just in case this one fails. That will catch it. Ideally, you want to have a jack stand on each side, on each of these arms, or in the middle of the frame mount, or basically the middle of the frame of the vehicle. And you would want to have a jack there too, just in case the jack stands fail, the jack would catch it in theory. But yeah, basically what I'm doing is replacing the shocks. I'm leaving the tire and wheel bolted to the vehicle just in case something happens. I won't get crushed or hurt. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to remove the shocks on this vehicle. So you have a 15 mil nut up here and a 19 millimeter nut here. This nut is welded to the shock itself, to the actual absorber. So this right here does not move. So what you can do is you can get a 19 millimeter wrench or a adjustable ratchet like I have here, and put it on here like that, and leave it up against the bellow, shock bellow. And then what you want to do is get a ratchet and wrench, preferably I think it's like 5/8 in the SAE standard, but it's technically a 15 millimeter ratchet and wrench, or wrench itself. You can even use a socket if you can get a socket on this. But what you want to do is get it on there, if you get it on the right way, and basically just want to just get on there and cranking away on it. It's not really hard to do. It's actually quite easy, to be honest. I think the hardest part of this whole thing is jacking the vehicle up, to be honest. This thing is a pain to jack up. If I had a floor jack, it would take me like 3 seconds. But with a factory jack, it's a pain to get it to move. And once you get it this loose, you can do the rest by hand. Now, you can throw away all of your hardware, or let me rephrase that. Make sure that the shocks that you order have all the hardware. The shocks I ordered are the Monroe Matic Plus, part number 32346. They include all the hardware, including the rubber pieces. So what you want to do, oh, these are, you can tell these are just worn out. No wonder I was having noise up front. After you get those removed, oh yeah, look at that. There's my shock. Yeah, no wonder this vehicle rode like complete donkey crap. I'll keep that like that. The next thing you want to do, let me move this out the way, you want to come down to the bottom of the vehicle, down to the bottom. Ooh, there's that dog poop beside me. There's two 13 millimeter nuts. Let's see if I can get you in frame. I believe you're in frame. On the bottom of this shock. What I'm going to do, which is not advisable for everybody because not everybody has an impact, but I am going to actually impact these off. Just to be honest, I do not want to be under the vehicle, and I do not want to be moving this control arm and everything with it being on the jacks. So I'm just going to hit it with the impact real quick and pop them off if it'll fit. And then I will come right back because I cannot reach it with the phone. I need 2 hands. Okay, once your two 13 millimeter nuts have been removed, you can take your shock, which is kind of tricky to move. And you can slide it out. And there it is. There is a power steering leak on this vehicle, so that explains it. What I want to do though is this. I want to show y'all something. Sorry. Here's your old shock absorber. Just watch. I'm going to pull it all the way out. Ready? Just watch. I'm barely pushing. I'm literally using no force at all. I'm going to do that again. Okay, ready? Watch my fingers. Just not even no force. It's leaking on my hand. Sorry. So yeah. That is what a bad shock absorber is like. Let me get something to wash my hand off so I don't get this stuff on the new shock, and then I'll show you the new shock for comparison. Okay, so for comparison, here's the brand new shock. This is the Monroe made in USA 32346. Oh, look, you can't even push it down by hand. You can, but it takes a lot of force, and I can't do it this way. I'll have to do it sitting somewhere so I don't put this part to my hand. So let me get this new shock in, and then I will show you how to bolt it all back up. Here is all your new hardware. You have 2 rubber grommets. You have 2 of the metal spacers, 1 nut, 2 bolts, and 2 nuts here. So let me show you how to assemble these shocks. So you want to start with this packet. What you want to do is dump everything out. Now there's a certain way all of this goes. Whoops. Kind of feel like I'm filming upside down, to be honest. I hope not. But what you want to do is, this grommet here has 2 sides. There's this raised lip and there's a flat piece. You want to take the flat part of the grommet. Actually, hold on. No, you want to take this part first. Slide it down onto the shaft. Then leave this nub. Basically, the flat part of this rubber grommet goes down this way. You want this lip to go into the shock tower, or the bellow that they call it from the dealer. Then you want to slide this up into this hole. So when you get it slid up in there, then you put the other washer, the nut, and the grommet in. So let me get this slid in here because I'm going to have to compress this shock, and it's very hard to do one-handed. Let me compress this shock though, get it in here and lined up, and then I will come right back. Okay, once your shock is in, and it's lined up down there, lined up here, you're going to feel around up here, and you're going to feel there's a hole here. You see this rubber bushing? This lip goes just like that. What you want to do is, as you tighten this, make sure that both parts of this rubber grommet are together. You do not want to do this wrong. You want to make sure that these lips that hang off the bottom of these grommets are flush with the bottom and top of the bellow, or you're going to destroy the bushings. So I'm going to slide this on top. I'm going to grab my nut, and I'm going to tighten this like this, and then we're going to go to the bottom of the vehicle. You see, you got this packet. You're going to put these bolts to the top of the shock, like to the top, and the nuts go on the bottom, just like when you removed the shock, the nuts were on the bottom. Now once you get your nuts in the top and your bolts down there in, if I got you guys right, there you go. Once you get those in, You want to tighten a little bit at a time on each side so it goes down evenly and the shock can basically go down onto the control arm even and not bent or messed up. And then at that point, you will start tightening your top nut, which I'm going to show you how to do without damaging it. Now, okay, it's extremely hot out here, so if I'm missing a few steps, which I don't think I am, bear with me. I will do a voiceover at the end of the video if I did miss anything. But once your two nuts, your 13 mil nuts, are tight, what I would do is come up to the top here, and you will see this 15 millimeter nut. What you want to do is you're going to see this grommet in here. Make sure it's lined up and make sure up here is lined up. Now let me show you how to tighten this. Get your 15 millimeter ratchet and wrench. I'm going to hold this camera with the other hand. What you want to do is you want to tighten this. And the best way I can explain it is when the washer is the same size as the grommet. When the rubber grommet is the same size as the metal washer, it's tight enough. You do not want to tighten this too tight or you're going to damage the grommets. But all this seems right, and I'm just going to get them to tightening. Let me finish tightening this and I'll come back and show you how it's supposed to be. Alright, that's how it should look. The rubber grommet should not be bigger than the metal washer, and it is not here. Everything is perfect. You want these to be exactly flush. You do not want the rubber to be bigger than the metal, and you don't want the metal to be bigger than the rubber. So once you're done with that, you can slowly let the vehicle down and do your other side, of course. I'm going to go ahead and let this side of the vehicle down and start the other side, which you will see. It'll be the same video, but I'm going to stop this recording and then go on to the next side. So that's how you do the driver's side. Very easy. There's many different brands. I will post the brands to these shocks in the description down below, as well as the rear ones I just did. All the links will be down below, including the tools I used. So that's it. Let's go on to the other side. Alright, so here we are on the passenger side of the vehicle. Same process. You're going to get your adjustable wrench and your 15 millimeter socket, or ratchet and wrench I should say. And you are going to, once you get this on, leave it against the bellow, just like that. And then get your ratchet and 15. Be careful not to hit that AC line and put a dent in it or a hole in it, because you'll lose your refrigerant. Then you're just going to want to start turning this. Very simple, straightforward. Another thing I forgot to mention on the other side is you will have a cover here if your vehicle has the splash shield cover. I'm missing the one on this one just because I broke them and I didn't replace them, but I have some in order that I'm getting ready to put on. So there will be a video on that too, of how to install the new splash shields. Now this will happen, I'm glad it did because I can show y'all. That will come off every once in a while. Let me grab it. Great, it fell in the oil absorbent. That is like clay now. Anyway. Yes, I know my videos are shaky. And that's just something I can't really help. Ow. I don't have a stabilizer on this phone or a tripod to put it on, so you just bear with this until I can afford to get a better setup. Alright, once you get it that loose, you can spin the rest off by hand. Remove this, and again the rubber is just destroyed. Remove your 19 millimeter adjustable wrench or socket. Yeah, there we go. That's a bad shock. Not as bad as the driver's side, but it's bad. Then you're going to come down again. there's going to be two 13mm bolts that hold the bottom of the shock cone. I'm not going to show it this time just because I showed you on the driver's side. It's exactly the same. So I'm going to go and pull those and then I'll come right back. Alright, once you get your two 13mm nuts off, you will grab your shock. I'm going to try to do this one-handed so I can show you. Just grab it and slide it out. And as you can see, this one is completely destroyed, just like the last one. Alright, let's see if I can show you this again. Let's see. It's kind of hard to film, but like I said earlier, this lip needs to face up. The flat piece needs to go on the base, but first, as I've done this twice now, you must install this washer. Crap. This washer needs to go on. The lip needs to be facing up, so the flat part needs to go against the washer, and then you slide it into place, and I'll show you the rest. Alright, once you get the bolts to the top, you're going to want to put a 13mm ratchet with a socket or a wrench to hold this bolt down while you tighten two bolts that are underneath the two nuts, and you want to do a little bit on each side so you do it evenly and you don't bend the shock absorber or anything like that. And then we will get to the top and start tightening up the top nut. Alright, with the bottom bolts tight, now let's focus on the top. Again, the washers need to go a certain way. They don't need to be messed up. Currently have a thunderstorm moving in, so I'm kind of trying to hurry, even though it looks sunny. Clouds are dark on one side and bright and beautiful on the other, so let me, if I can get this out of the bag. You want to make sure that when you do this, this lip is facing down, going into the hole right here. And you want to make sure both holes go in there. Don't forget your washer. And then you want to get your nut and start tightening it up. And again, you want to tighten this as the same as you did the other way, or on the other side, on the driver's side. You want it to be exactly like that. You do not want to over tighten or under tighten this. So I'm going to grab the 15 and I'll show you how to do that. Again, tighten them until there's not no rubber coming over the metal, and there's no metal bigger than the rubber. So basically you want them to be completely even and flush with each other. So that concludes how to install front shocks on your 95 through 2001 Ford Explorer. I believe this process is exactly the same for the four-wheel drive model. I will actually post that in the description below if it is the same process. But that's how it's done. Thank you for watching Lee's Automotive. I'm your host, Randy. Have a safe and blessed day. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you disliked it. Leave comments that you might have or questions down below. And other than that, I will see you guys next time.